Hi, I'm Tom Hakeem, and on this episode of Meet the Candidates, which is here for one simple reason, to get you to know some of the people that are looking to represent us and help us in this community. I'd like to say hi to my good friend, Diane Zontini.
Well, hello.
How are you? Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, good. So anyway, before we get to the trustee and those kind of things,
Sure.
A lot of people know who you are in the community, and some people don't because we don't know everybody and there's new people all the time. So why don't we learn a little bit about you first before we get going?
That sounds good. Well, I have lived in the south end of the township for 41 years and raised my family there. I am married. In fact, I've been married for 50 years.
Well, congratulations.
And thank you very much. And I have one adult son. And living on the south end, I've loved it. I love it till this day. And like I said, 41 years. To tell you a little bit about myself, I owned and operated my own vocational academy for 26 years in the city of Roseville, and also a vocational educator for 30 years. So my background really is in education as well as, running a business. I also currently serve, I'm on the trustee. I'm a trustee at Clintondale Community School. So I'm on the Board of Education, which I'll love being on that board as well. I'm currently serving on the Parks and Recreation Committee, and I've been told I'm the longest serving member on that committee. I'm also been a past member of the Cultural Diversity Committee. Very proud on other committees that I've served in the years past, so we're going back just a little bit. But I co-chaired with former Police Chief Al Ernest on a very successful millage that the committee to pass the millage to build a new police station, which was built, as we all know, centrally located on Groesbeck. And another, I feel, very important committee that I've also worked on in the past, I'm a member of the expanded fire services, which our job was, again, to pass another millage, which was successful, to rebuild Fire Station Number 1 on Gratiot, which was built in 1940, and then build a new station, a fire station Number 5 on Elizabeth Road.
Right.
So, I really feel that I've been quite active and continually being active in the community, which I think has really, it enriches your life when you serve. I really do. I also, too, I'd like to mention very quick, and this goes back, but we had issues with a business on Groesbeck that was operating illegally of adult entertainment, might say. And I formed a small group to help, get signatures to show our township and to support our township. And again, the township attorney at that time, it went to court, and he won. He won, and they were cease and desist. So there's so many things, like I said, that I have spent time on, and just I look back and I treasure it all.
The trustees on our board here have done wonderful things through all the years I've been here, forever. And then there have been some things that weren't so great. It's interesting in a community like this that you can do 500 good things that go unnoticed. Everybody enjoys the new splash pad or how good the parks are and et cetera.
Right.
But then as soon as they take a minute to either watch a board meeting or show up at one, see a little bit of infighting, which is natural, all the way from Washington all the way down. At this juncture, we're at a different time in society, and there seems to be more division. I don't apologize for it. I don't believe that it's good. Diane, as a member of the board, how will you enhance the ability to communicate?
Well, in being on the school board, I've learned so much, and it is a lot of communication and listening. I really feel that I can bring with my business background, and then also being on a school board as I serve right now, that I can, well, always use common sense in dealing with issues at the township. And I do know that, they always say that, listening isn't just hearing. It kind of requires a willingness to entertain other viewpoints, especially opposing ones. So I know how to listen, whether I agree with that person or not, but come to the right decision to work together, because that's what we have to. We have to have a united front, because we're representing the residents. We're the residents' voices. So if you're not working together, you're not going to accomplish much. So I feel I can handle that. I can do that nicely.
There's a lot of positive things going on in the township, has been for years. However, there's always room for improvement.
Right.
And just yourself personally, what are a couple of the issues that you feel you'd like to bring to the table, to the forefront?
Right. Well, I've been going door to door campaigning since April. So I take notes. I ask residents questions. They ask me questions. It's just what you had said as well. And what comes up, and that I agree with them too, is, of course, our roads. That's the number one issue, but we don't control our roads.
Right.
But what my suggestion would be is that it would be great to have some type of a town hall meeting where residents would be able to come and learn about that we don't control our roads, or what the options are.
Good
you
point.
know, our current treasurer does a fantastic job with videos on the website talking about special assessments and roads. But so many residents will say, but I want to be able to talk to someone. I want to hear their answer back. So I think that would be my suggestion. I think it would be great to have a town hall on addressing our roads, but to educate and give the public a chance to express themselves.
Well, that's a very good point. Also, because of the fact everybody doesn't go to the website. I know Paul does a great job.
Yes.
But that's not something that everybody does. I don't
Right.
care, seniors or people that aren't seniors, busy lives. Not like you can just go sit down when you can be watching Yellowstone in your free half hour a night. So yeah, that's a very good point. I think town halls are always going to be a very important part of our system, because it allows people, like you say, to speak and listen and watch a human being live, and it's very important. The township has twice had most topics are done when they're done. This is a conversation piece for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. The referendum about marijuana, Clinton Township said, no, we're not interested in it. People voted on it, and it was a done issue. You always have the argument of, oh, well, look at Mount Clemens is making so much money on it, which is partially probably not true. And there's so many stores, people go, hey, they deliver and everything. What is your position on that?
Well, first of all, I always stand with what the voters vote for. Because
Absolutely.
that was the majority. That's what people are feeling, and that's what they want. So that is a no-brainer for me. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, whether I'm not saying for or against, but I think, we're seeing children that are bringing in products into schools, and it can be very dangerous, yes,
It's
and
scary.
very scary for everyone and for parents and for the kids. So I think there's always two sides to something. It's just like a coin. We can't just look at one side. There's always two sides. So, but again, what the voters have voted on, I'm in total support of that.
I know you're a big proponent of our public servants, our police,
Yes.
fire, ambulance. Seems to be a little bit of a difficult situation because we need more.
Yes.
And if we have the money, we need more. People are not looking at that career, and we even lose people to other communities.
Sure.
What do we need to do about that?
Well, we have to have, of course, necessary funding. And the last that I had looked into it, I know that we need more police officers, of course. But funding is the problem. We're not getting the money from the state anymore, that revenue, so it makes it very difficult. So, our budget and how we spend our money, and very creatively in a tight budget, we have to work on a way to maybe take away from something else to bring it to another program to enhance it. But we have to always support our fire and our police millages and that type of thing to keep it safe in our community.
What keeps the community going is small business. You're a business owner, I'm
Yes.
a business owner. That was what built America and what we stood on.
Right.
It's great to have Walmart and Costco and Amazon and a whole different spectrum of how to do things. We saw it as recent in our own Partridge Creek Mall. When you lose big anchor stores, not because we're Clinton Township, but because they close up nationwide. We need to bring more business here and small business. How do we enhance that to make people want to come to Clinton Township?
Well, I agree with you. Businesses create jobs and businesses pay taxes. I know we had a former director that was working on bringing businesses, but I think what's really number one important, and I can draw from my own experience, that every business has to have a working relationship with the city or the township. If you're not on the same playing field, a lot of problems arise and that type of thing. So I think we have to be friendly to businesses in the first thing. But I also know that businesses have to be good neighbors and not a disturbance to residents that live in the area. Okay. So, I think you have to be mindful of all these things to create the correct environment for that.
That's a good point. That's a good point because, we recently saw what a less than legal business could do to the township when the over on 15 Mile Road, which was the fault of no one.
Right.
And yet I think we all got a real quick learning experience. Handled the way it was, first responders, the investigations, etc. But it's a wake-up call. And you make a good point that you have to be careful what you ask for.
Yes.
And then how it comes about.
Very true.
The schools are a huge part of this community. We have 4 or 5 districts, and you're in Clintondale and Chippewa Valley, and the young people get a great education here in a great community. We need to keep more of them here.
Yes.
What do you think? You're in the school system. You hear all the issues. Where are we missing a little bit? Other than young people want to go. I left New York, so I can't say young people don't go. But I'd love to see more of the young people stay in the community because that's our community. We raised them, and they're going to raise their kids, and we want young families. Sure. How do we go about that?
Well, we have to have a sound and a good education system, which you had said, and an environment for children and to learn and that type of thing. So hiring good teachers and dedicated teachers, and I feel we have that. I can speak only for Clintondale Community Schools, but when you have teachers that have been there 24, 25, 27 years of dedication, this is what really makes a difference. Our teachers that are able to really work with the children, they're relatable with the children, and to learn. And then, of course, then it encourages other people to have their children attend the schools.
Absolutely. Well, we need every generation.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be all helpful. In the next 2 hours, we'll discuss. Oh no, I'm sorry, I got the wrong. Didn't want to keep you here all day. It's a beautiful day out. In the next 2.5 minutes, why don't you tell the people of Clinton Township why they should vote for you as a trustee on our board?
Well, I would like them to consider my involvement in the years and my dedication that I have for the township and the commissions that I serve on, that type of thing. I'd like them to know that I'm going to use common sense solutions with any work that I do with the township, that I'm willing to work with other people on the board, even with opposing viewpoints, to be calm and to listen. I want to always stay faithful to the residents because they put us individuals in office. So again, going door to door, me hearing their concerns is very helpful. And I'm always going to have that respect, and I hope they'll have that trust in me. And again, with my business experience, with my background in teaching, as well as servicing on the Board of Trustees at Clintondale Community Schools, I think I can be and bring in that as an asset to my work as a trustee.
Well, I agree. So on behalf of the people of Clinton Township, my friends here at CTTV and myself, first of all, I'd like to thank you for venturing in this direction in a time when things are very difficult out there.
Yes, they are.
There's a lot of challenges that maybe always have been, but a lot more than there used to be. And to go into public service, be in public service at a time like this is very difficult. So thank you for that. As well as thank you for giving us your time today and coming out and visiting with us. And Diane Zontini for Trustee of Clinton Township. I wish you the best.
Thank you for this great opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
So, for Meet the Candidates, this is Tom Hakeem.